One of the most basic instruments in the lab which you will be using every day is the regulator DC power supply. Most of your circuits would need 3 power supplies. So you would see on this particular power supply, you would see on the extreme left side 5 volt DC is written there, and then on the right side you have these 3 terminals here, and written there minus 15 volt, common, and plus 15 volt. Now this 5 volt supply is used for digital ICs like what I showed you earlier. This is a digital IC and the power supply has to be exactly 5 volt. It can maximum go to 5.25 and the least is 4.75. Therefore, this particular knob can be adjusted. So nominally you can keep it around 5 volt. So this is the supply which you would use for digital ICs. When we do experiments for the digital part of the laboratory, we would use this 5 volt supply. So the other power supply we have is the plus minus 15 volt supply, and the display you have here on the top, you have only one display. So the top one is for 15 volts, so it's now 11.8. Typically you would use 12 volt as the nominal value, so you can adjust it. Now this, both the supplies is a tracking supply. So this is 12 volt, then the minus also would be the same. So it's a tracking power supply. Now let me connect it and show you. One thing which is very important is, if I want to connect the 5 volt supply, then what I need to do is, the positive, the red one will be positive, and what you can do, there will be a hole in the terminal here. That's very useful to connect your wire. So that is the positive terminal, and negative, so this is for the 5 volt supply. Again there is a hole here in the terminal, and if you connect it there, it will get connected properly. And it's very important not to connect your wire with the insulation going inside, then it will not get connected. So what I have here is, I have the plus 5 volt. So what I have done is, I have connected the negative and the positive. So for convenience, it's a good idea to connect the negatives or the ground to the bottom side. So this will be similar to the way you draw the circuit, and the positive, in this case the plus supply, to the top. And now I can use this particular breadboard, this particular line, for all my connections for connecting it here. Now what I want to show is also the dual supply. So I have 3 supplies there. One is a common, which is the same as ground. So once again, it's a good idea to connect to, there is a hole there. If you put it there, it will be, but very important, your insulation should not be inside. So this I can once again connect to the ground. Now the important thing to realize here is, these 2 sides are not connected together. So therefore you must join these 2 sides using another wire. So that way now all my grounds are common. My positive side is connected here. Now this is my plus. So while connecting, it's good to switch off the power supply. So this is my positive plus 12 volt. Once again, when you connect it, make sure that your insulation is not going inside. So this is my negative minus 12 volt. So I have my ground I already connected. So I would use my negative supply, connect here, and this is the top line is ground, the bottom is now minus 12, and this side, very important, that side is my 5 volt, this side is my 15 plus 12 volt. So very important to be very careful when you connect it. So this is the way you would now you can see how convenient it is to use a micro board to make connections. What I have with me is a digital multimeter. This is a portable digital multimeter which you might have seen while in school doing experiments. So why it's called a multimeter? Because it can measure voltages, currents and resistance. Some multimeters can also measure capacitance. So this particular multimeter have voltage both AC and DC. So DC would show by a line of dots and AC would show by a small sine signal. Now in the lab you would be most of the time using a, so here I have a desktop multimeter which you will be using in the lab. Now this multimeter is powered from the 230 volt. So there is a switch behind, on the left side behind there is a switch. Once you switch on, the display would come on. Now since the multimeter, it has different things you can do. Now we will be measuring right now a voltage. So on the right side you would see this yellow, the button there, you make sure it's pressed there, and then you have these two leads here, a red lead which is for the positive and for the black lead which is for the negative. So let's, right now it's put on voltage, and also make sure that your range is correct. Right now the range for this voltage is right now kept at 20 volt. So let me measure the voltage which is shown here as 4.87. Let's see what it will read in the multimeter. So the multimeter is also reading very close, so there may be the second decimal point, there may be error. Now what is most important to notice here is, if I just change this range to 200 volt, you would see that the accuracy, the resolution is much less here. So it's very important that you choose the right range. So since you know that this voltage is within 20 volt, better to choose the 20 volt. But if you don't choose 2 volt, because you know it's going to be more than that. Similarly, I can use this to measure resistance value. So if I press this green button here, now it is in the resistance range, and the multimeter is indicating that nothing is connected, or it is infinite resistance. It shows, if it is out of range, shows like that. If I just short it, it should show me the kind of the terminal resistance, which is 0.04 ohms, which is quite reasonable. Let me use this to measure the resistors which we introduced earlier. So what I have here with me are two resistors which are nominally 1 kilo ohm. Mind you, these resistors have tolerance of plus minus 5%. So let's see what is the value as per this multimeter, how much it is reading. Now right now the range is chosen as 20 and 0.9, so let me go to 2 kilo ohm range. So it's showing as 0.984 or 984 ohms. Let me measure the other resistor, which is also supposed to be the same value. Let me see what is the value we would get. It should give an idea about the tolerance. You see that they are not same. This is 981. Now let me put these two resistors in series on the microboard or the breadboard. So the way you do is, if I want to put in series, then what I can do is I can use, okay, so this is one resistor. The second resistor, since it is in series, it should be connected to the same column, and the other end to another column. Now this nominally should read 2 kilo. So it's showing 1.9496. Okay, so this is in series. Let's connect them in parallel, which means what I need to do, both the sides, both the terminals should be on the same. Okay, so one resistor on and both of them here. Okay, so these are connected in now parallel. They are connected in parallel. So nominally the value, if I measure now, I can touch any of the pins because both are connected in parallel. It should nominally read 500 ohms. Let's see what we will get. 493, not bad. So this is how you would use a digital multimeter to measure resistance and also voltage. Most of the times you will not use a multimeter for measuring currents, because currents generally you would measure by finding the voltage drop. So it's best to use best to do current measure voltage measurements rather than current.